Okay, whenever you're ready, Attorney Green.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
I know it's difficult, but in a loud, as clear a voice as you can you please tell everybody your full name and spell your last name?
Yes, Jessica Vasquez Bray, B-R-A-Y.
And how old are you, ma'am?
42,
What town do you live in?
Westfield, Mass.
How long have you lived in Westfield?
Oh gosh, since I was 11.
Do you work?
I do.
Where do you work?
I work at Westfield Bank.
How long have you worked there?
17 years.
Who was Alexis Avery?
She's my daughter.
And what was her date of birth?
April 20th, 1998.
May I approach the witness?
Yes.
Your Honor? Tell me who's depicted in that photograph.
Alexis.
And do you know approximately when this was taken?
That was her pregnancy photo shoot, so sometime in 2018.
I would draw this first.
Exhibit 1. Exhibit 1. Thank you.
May I briefly explain that, please?
Yes.
Displaying exhibit number 1. That was your daughter.
Yes.
Is your daughter still with us?
She's not.
Do you know who Blake Scanlon is?
I do.
And how do you know him?
He dated my daughter on and off.
Do you see him in the courtroom?
I do.
Could you just point to him, describe a color shirt he's wearing?
It's right over there. And a jacket.
Thank you. Your Honor, may the record reflect in-court identification of the defendant?
She pointed in the defendant's direction, yes.
Thank you. Who is Darla?
Darla's my granddaughter. We adopted her, but yes, Alexis had a baby with Blake.
And when was Darla born?
She was born August 1st, 2018.
Do you know approximately how long Alexis and the defendant had dated off and on?
I want to say I remember 2016 we did like a family vacation. I remember him being there, so I would say around that time through January 1st.
And in June of 2018, where were your daughter and the defendant living?
On White Street in Westfield, an apartment.
And a few weeks before January 11th, New Year's Day or so, did you have an occasion to see Alexis?
I did.
And did she tell you anything about her relationship with the defendant?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
May we approach briefly sidebar?
Yep.
Your Honor?
So during the course of the trial, we have
When was the last time that you actually saw Alexis, if you remember?
Yes, it was the evening of January 11th. It was a Friday
And where did you see her?
at my house.
And why was she at your house?
She came to borrow the car with Caitlin,
Okay. Borrow whose car?
my car.
All right. And what kind of car was that?
It was a 2007 Mazda CX-9.
Do you know why she was borrowing your car that night, if you know?
Yeah, like their car didn't, Caitlin's car didn't run well, and they just wanted to have like a safe, decent car for the evening.
Okay. Do you recall approximately what time she came over to borrow your car?
It was in the evening. I don't remember the exact time.
Okay. And then Saturday, what did you do?
I was at work, and I was trying to get a hold of her, so I was texting her.
Okay. And where was Darla on Friday night, the baby?
She was at my mom's house.
Okay. And does mom have a name or nickname that you called her?
Wella?
Saturday morning, if you know, did Alexis pick up Wella?
Saturday morning, no.
Was she supposed to?
She was supposed to pick up the baby.
At some point in time, you mentioned you tried to get in touch with
I did.
Alexis. Is that right?
Yes.
And what is your phone number, if you know? Had back in 2018, 2019.
Yes.
And did you have Alexis's phone number programmed into your phone?
I did.
Do you happen to recall that number offhand?
No, because I don't remember anybody's. Just go right to the name and dial it.
I
It's
understand.
unfortunate.
If you saw it, do you think it would help jog your
Yes.
memory? May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Yes.
Did that help your memory?
Yes.
And what do you recall your daughter's phone number being?
The 556.
557?
Yeah.
Were you ever able to physically speak with Alexis during Saturday, January 12th?
No.
How did you communicate with her?
It was a text message.
To her phone?
Correct.
May I approach again, Your Honor?
Yes.
I show you this item. Do you recognize that item?
I do.
What do you recognize that item to be?
Alexis's phone.
White iPhone with gold sparkly case?
Yes.
ID only. E. E.
And you mentioned also that
Let me explain to the jury. Matters marked for identification are not exhibits, evidence in the case at this time. All right?
you mentioned that Alexis borrowed your car. Is that right?
Yes.
You recognize what this is,
It's the key fob for my car.
and the key's actually in here.
Correct.
So this is like your spare set.
Yeah, that was the spare.
I have this marked by identification as well.
ID only. F. F.
Did you hear from did you hear her voice at any point on Saturday?
I never heard her voice again since she picked up the car.
And you continued to try and communicate with her?
I did.
Did you call?
I did.
Did you text?
Yes.
Again and again?
over and over.
I just want to show you these 10 pages. Take a minute and just look through them without saying anything. When you're done, look up, please. Can you just tell me what those pictures are of generally?
On the text messages that I was sending out and text messages I was getting back on Saturday and Sunday.
And just so we're all clear, there's blue messages.
Yeah, those
Who's the, if you know, who's sending the blue messages?
I am.
And there's actually a picture of you right next to the
Correct.
message. So that was programmed into a phone, presumably.
Yes.
And messages are to Alexis at the top.
Alexis's, yep.
I have the identification as well, please.
ID G.
G. Did you try and contact Alexis again on Sunday morning?
I did.
Could you describe your level of concern at that point?
I was very concerned.
Overruled.
I was very concerned. I hadn't heard her voice, and I asked her to call me so I can hear her voice. And I wasn't getting that call.
And where was Darla Sunday morning?
She was with me at the time. I went to pick her up instead since Alexis wasn't.
Would it be unlike Alexis to leave her baby for 2 days?
Absolutely.
Thank you. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
All right, crosses in.
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you very much.